Previously on Restoration, the team dealt with an unstable portal and discovered that somehow their personal timelines were unlocked. They managed to get back to HQ, but everyone was left a bit rattled. V used the emergency teleport and has gotten you back into AppTap. It always takes you back to that same teleportation circle, the permanent one that's built in the auxiliary building. You are not too far away from the healing wing, which is probably where Viernan is going to suggest that you go first, just because supplies and things are there. It is very late at night. There's probably a tech, but it's not a lot of usual people in this room.
Well, that tech is about to have a weird night. Sarathiel doubles over himself. He's still gripping at his chest, sort of shaking violently, but he's got his eyes on the floor as he's trying to process everything that he just saw all at the same time, which is easier than he expected it to be. He's not used to being able to think with clarity, but that is what he is feeling. He is thinking clearly, or relatively clearly.
Yeah, as clearly as he can with extreme pain. Yeah, so the tech is pretty used to seeing people in all kinds of conditions because you don't use the emergency portal unless you're having an emergency of some sort.
Yeah, that's fair.
So they just send somebody off to let people know that you guys are back. But other than that, they don't really care or notice much because they're not really the Healy type and they notice you're with a healer. So Viernan, you said you're doubled over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Viernan crouches down next to you. Is just touching, not touching, just like hand hovering near your shoulder. Like, can you move?
He makes a sort of grunt of affirmation, maybe.
Okay. Let's get you down the hall and then I can see if I can try some other spells.
No, Viernan, no.
Come on. I need to get my supplies. I just have my field kit with me.
No, Viernan, don't. He actually takes a couple staggering steps backward.
He just kind of stares at you, but puts his hands up placatingly, like, oh, okay, I can try something else, but...
Viernan, I can't do this anymore. I can't stand it. Living with this book is it's like trying to navigate in a fog. It's like having a word right at the tip of your tongue that you can't quite recall, but about everything all the time. Please, this is the clearest I've ever felt. I'll endure the pain. I don't care. Just don't send me back into the fog. I beg you.
V just kind of looks taken aback. Obviously, he understands what's going on. Sarathiel, I won't touch the mark. Just let me deal with the pain, okay? Please?
I would like to roll insight. I would like to glean Viernan's intentions.
Okie dokie.
And that's a pretty good insight roll.
That is a pretty good insight roll. He seems genuinely concerned about your pain. He seems concerned about you. Doesn't seem to be hiding anything. He did say he wouldn't fix the mark.
So I feel like Viernan can definitely tell that he is being scrutinized by Sarathiel. Sarathiel is genuinely not 100% sure that he can trust Viernan, which is new.
Yeah, that's a little alarming.
But also he is in a lot of pain. 8 out of 10 on a pain scale is so bad that I can barely speak.
Yeah.
So he eventually jerks his head into a nod and relents for now.
All right, come on. He takes you down the hall, and instead of leading you into one of the exam rooms, because clearly you're just skittish, and he really doesn't want to trigger anything, just because he doesn't quite know what the status is right now, he is just going to grab some supplies, and he'll take you back to your room, because he knows that that's pretty decently shielded. It's not as ideal as a medical wing room, but it should do.
Yeah, Sarathiel would prefer that, honestly.
Yeah, I figured because, it's a place that you're more comfortable with. It is actually your space as much as you actually get space here.
Yeah, the door doesn't lock, but
At least there's a door. He helps you up the hall. There's probably a decent amount of swearing on everybody's lips, and he definitely is using various spells as you go to try to deal with some of the pain, at least so that you can move.
Yep, he is still weak on his feet, but when he definitely collapses gratefully on his bed when he finally gets the chance to sit down. It's a lot of pain.
And I think for a while he just focuses on the healing. It kind of gives you that sense of, okay, he's just doing this for the pain. He's not doing anything. He hasn't sent any messages to anyone. He's not doing anything other than just treating you right now.
The mark breaking has opened up some stuff, just like a lot of thoughts, just kind of all at once. And he's working through it, and it's difficult to work through just because it's a lot of information. But at the very least, Viernan is holding to his word, which is really all that with the pain, it's really all he can focus on at the moment. That is enough.
Eventually, he does take a pause when he notices that there seems to be a lull in the pain for a moment, and he asks, "Do you know who that was?"
He is silent for more time than he should need. Even Sixth Sarathiel doesn't take this long to answer a question. He says, "I have some idea."
Did he tell you a name, or what did he do? What happened?
Viernan, do I have your confidence in this matter?
He pauses, but he is looking you in the eyes. He's not evading or anything like that. If it threatens the organization as a whole, you know that there are some things I'll have to share. But I will do my best to treat anything you tell me with doctor-patient confidentiality as much as I can.
He kind of chuckles darkly and he says, "I don't think doctor-patient confidentiality applies to this particular matter."
You are my ward. I am in charge of your welfare, mental and
physical. He was my twin soul.
What?
My twin soul. I'm sure you're familiar with
I heard
the phrase.
You're sure?
I'm sure.
He looks, frankly, gobsmacked. So, for listeners who may not be familiar,
or who don't remember, because we used this mechanic before.
They might not have listened to Season 1, Tessa. Anyway, so for the listeners at home who may not be aware, there are two extraordinarily rare things that happen with elves. One is twins, and two is something we call twin soul, or soulmates. So for Sarathiel to say that this was his twin soul is frankly astounding. This is a very rare occurrence.
I believe the mechanic is the souls of elves are limited. They keep getting reincarnated when they die. But there are so few that sometimes they break into two, and then soulmates.
Yeah. It's similar to how twins happen in the D&D things, but instead of being twins, they're actually born to different families in this case. But yeah, so they are two halves of one soul. Shit.
Yeah.
He has no idea what to say to that, frankly. And I think he just turns for a minute and starts fussing with a potion to maybe try to think of something. What did he do to you?
I think he's the one that... He looks down at the mark on his chest. I think he tried to shatter it.
I mean, that tracks, I guess. If he's your twin soul, he would obviously be...
I'd do it for him, situation's reversed.
Yeah.
And to be clear, there are some things he's not sure he wants to mention. Obviously, I, Tessa, remember the part where his name is Belantiel, and also he's the one that blew up Aptat. I remember that. Sarathiel remembers that. He killed people, but this is literally his soulmate.
Yeah.
And Sarathiel is not 100% sure if he wants to endanger Belantiel like that, even knowing what he's done.
Well, do you think he'll come back for you?
Oh, I'd count on it.
I don't I don't think we can do anything about it tonight, but I won't tell anyone if you don't want me to.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
If anybody could understand this, it's probably Viernan, who is a twin. If anybody understands this level of intimacy and confusion over finding that person for the first time, it's probably going to be him. He is going to try pretty much everything he can think of as far as spells to deal with this pain. He's getting it down a little bit, but it's still not quite gone. As the pain continues, you seem to become clearer on things. It seems like maybe you started out closer to like a 7 and you're starting to gain that stuff as time is going on. You're getting more memories back and things like that. And he's running out of things that he can try.
Eventually, Sarathiel asks, What happened? Did the bracer malfunction?
I'm not sure.
Did we all get separated?
We did, briefly. Somehow our personal timelines were unlocked, which shouldn't have been possible for Chaz's bracer or for mine, but I'm just not sure what happened. And he just kind of clams up after that, just looking through potions ingredients again.
Yeah, Sarathiel can fucking read a room. He says, Venin, did you see something?
He doesn't have a lot of tells, but it's hard to misread a clatter as he just kind of doesn't really drop the components he's holding, but they slip back into the box. I did, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay. He's certainly not going to force him.
Time is changeable. It's possible that it won't even happen, what I saw. There's no point in dwelling on it right now.
Sarathiel tries not to be like, bitch, what the fuck does that mean? It's probably fine. Things can still change. It's probably fine. What does that mean, Viernan? Sir?
Just to check, you've told him that you are a twin soul, but you haven't mentioned that he did anything weird to your sword.
Very specifically, until he has more information, Sarathiel is not going to mention his name or the fact that he's the one that blew up AppTap. He's going to keep that to himself. As for the sword, I don't think he noticed. It happened really quickly, and he was kind of distracted at the time.
I will point out, you did actually feel a flare in the magic, and there is literally blood on your blade.
That could be from anywhere.
Yeah, who knows?
You clean your blade. You are a good fighter.
My mother would be so disappointed in you, Sarathiel.
I'll clean it eventually.
All right, so we've established you're not telling anybody about the sword. You might not have fully noticed. Eventually, Viernan's gotten the pain level as low as he can. It's still, hovering probably around, a 6 to a 5. It's still obviously there.
But Sarathiel can reasonably conceal the fact that he's in pain now. That's pretty much all he really needs.
Yeah, it's still not going to make resting easy. Viernan is going to suggest that you've got some potions we could try to make it easier to trance.
As soon as he's done mixing it, Sarathiel says, you should have some. You don't look well.
I'll take some in a little bit. I've got to write up a bit of a report on all of this. I haven't, see if Chaz and the others made it back. Chaz and Gwen.
Are you sure you just don't want to rest first?
I do, but...
But nothing. If you want to rest, then rest. Sarathiel budges up on the bed.
It's part of being a handler, Sarathiel. Just give me a few minutes to see if they're...
Viernan, you can't take care of me if you don't take care of yourself.
All right. They sent a message off telling them we were back. Deal with it in the morning. And he sits on the bed next to you.
Sarathiel definitely downs that potion. He would like to trance, please.
He waits until he's sure that it's actually kicking in for you before he takes his own. Elves don't sleep, which means that they don't typically dream in the same way as other races do. That's not to say that they don't have memories and other things that come to them while they trance, but it's a very different experience. Rather than, a dream or the symbolism of falling out of the sky or flying or whatever, they literally experience memories from their past, from past lives even. So it's not that you have never experienced this, but I feel like at a 6 int, you probably had some different things coming to you.
Yeah, probably. It's hard to recall things with a low intelligence score, so...
And, I mean, it was very deliberate what AppTap did in creating that mark, that it cut you off from the weave, which cuts you off from a significant portion of this dream, for lack of a better word. You are seeing snippets of what you assume must be maybe a past life or maybe an alternate life. You're not quite sure what this is, but you and Belle are together.
You look the same?
He looks maybe a little less hard, but generally the same. Yeah, the same dark hair, the same bright silver eyes. He dresses similarly. A little less emphasis on the armor, a little bit more emphasis on silks, but still in those deep blues and golds.
It feels like he's drowning. He doesn't really know anything about Belantiel past the fact that this person is the other half of my soul, and there's like an intrinsic, knee-jerk, automatic response to want to be with him, to want to be near him, just because he is who he is. So it feels like an ache, and he really doesn't know how to process it past that.
And I think the harder that you try to focus on him and on these flashes of whatever you're seeing, the harder it is to actually hold on to them. Like cupping water in your hands, it just slips through no matter how hard you try. You can get some, but you can't hold on to it for long. So you're kind of just flitting through different scenes. You see Belle, you see fights, you see happier times, you see just glimpses of what this other person could be to you. And you also are getting flashes of a grand building. You know, you're not seeing any details. Things are still fuzzy. Things are still blocked by pain. But something about this place, these halls, seems familiar. They are very elegant. They're opulent, even maybe a little gaudy. And these halls, they give you that same anxious feeling that you would get when you were in with the administrant. And you're not quite sure why.
He hates it here.
So, Chaz.
Who? Chaz who?
I'm sorry, we don't have the Chaz here.
Chaz, you were tasked with getting Gwen back to the building. Did you at least do that?
Of course I did.
What'd you guys do after that? How are you holding up, Gwen?
Not good. Ever since I sort of had the conversation with Sarathiel, I've just been like obsessing over it. So I'm just like not talking mostly and just muttering to myself occasionally.
It's so ideal that you are not talking because Chaz absolutely does not want to tell you anything.
Nice, functional, emotionally stable squad tonight.
He's like, well, you seem fine. I have to go. Good night.
Oh, okay. See you later.
You're just gonna leave the intern who just met his mother on the day she died alone. Okay.
Chaz like takes 2 steps and then he's just like, oh, and turns around. How are you feeling? Like he's forcing the words out and he hates it.
I like jerked my head up. Like I kind of didn't really realize you were there until you like talked to me directly. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. It's great. How are you? You seem great.
Just think, what would Viernan do?
So like after that, he's like, oh, yeah, as much as I really don't like having conversations about feelings.
Great, me neither.
Right. But unfortunately, it was, your mother.
Yeah. The handbook said that shouldn't have happened, so I just want to go find... Where's the library? I turn around frantically. I know where the library is. There's got to be a book about this, right? Right, Chaz? There has to be a book about how to get over the trauma of seeing your dead mother in time and not saving her, right? That's a book. There's definitely a book about that.
Chaz takes a moment to look at you really look at you for a second. He goes, Yes, it's on the left side, on the lower shelf, and it's a green book.
I just stare at you. Is that real, Jazz?
I mean, if you doubt me, you can, of course, ask anybody, but why not go check for yourself?
This happens enough that they wrote a book about it?
All right, so I need to know, is Chaz just yanking his chain? Or are you seriously saying there is a book now? Because I need to know.
Oh no. I want it to be made canon that, like, this is a book, and the reason that Chaz knows exactly where it is because he's memorized the entire book.
What? Why do you know? Oh, God. I just, like, sort of sit down heavily. I hope there's a bench. I just, like, put my head between my legs and just start, like, breathing really heavily.
Chaz is like, right, it shouldn't have happened, Gwen, but, you know, the hallway is not exactly the most comfortable place.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm having it. My mental breakdown is inconvenient.
That's not what I mean.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Chaz. Oh, boy. This has been a bad day. I think maybe I just need to sleep and read that book later and maybe just try to pretend this never happened.
That's a good idea. That's generally how I deal with things.
It's just... What the fuck was that? How?
That is a question that I promise you I will find out. How, indeed. It should not be possible.
She was right there, Chaz. And I could have done something and I didn't, and I like get up. I'm gonna go. Thank you for talking to me, but I have to go.
Before you go, Gwen, know that timelines are funny in the way that they're not set. They're not permanent. You can alter them.
I like yank my head back up. What? That's not that's not what AppTap says.
Actually, that's like why the rules are there.
He's like, I know, that's exactly what AppTap doesn't want you to know, and I shouldn't be telling you that, but...
You're saying I could... This is not going to help me sleep, Chaz. I like go up and like shake him by the shoulders. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep, Chaz.
Chaz gets shaken. He's like, I keep forgetting that you actually sleep. I'm so sorry.
I do. My dad thinks it's weird too.
I forget that you don't trance.
It's almost like you have a healer wing that you could probably get some sleeping potions at and a bed to stay in.
I mean, I was just going to go back to my dorm.
Chaz is like, after being shaken, he's like, sorry, I mean, there are potions if you can't sleep. I mean, I'm sure Viernan has something or somebody in the healer wing.
Viernan? Wait, where's Viernan and Sarathiel? I saw them after the portal, but then they disappeared. Where did they go? Are they okay?
Can I make a roll? Do I know if they're okay?
You don't have to roll for that. You don't know if they're okay. So what happened was Viernan found Gwen and then found you. Then he sent you back with Gwen and went to try to find Sarathiel. So you don't know if he's been successful. You don't know if he's back.
You know, as Chaz is thinking about all this, he's like, oh shit. That is a very good question. Where are they?
You don't know where they are either? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. You don't know. We should I start looking around frantically. Maybe we could ask the hospital? Maybe they would know. Maybe if they've seen injured people. And I just start, walking frantically in that direction.
Sure, Chaz will follow you. Wait, Gwen, where... You don't have to go? We could... All right, there he goes. I guess He just, follows after him. Nope, he's gone.
Speed walking as fast as his legs can carry him.
You know, there are sending stones. We don't have to go all the way there.
I feel like at this point he just needs to walk, and, he's hoping that'll, help with the panic.
How's that going for you?
Not good. It's not good. Thanks so much.
All right. Basically, you establish they've not come back yet. You can arrange with somebody, you figure he's probably going to portal back through the emergency portal, Chaz, once you get caught up and, shake Gwen to, hello, reset. There is a logical way to do this. Let's just check in with the emergency portal where we came in.
How fast are you walking, Gwen? Where are you?
I'm I guess you said we went to the hospital, so we're at the hospital?
Yeah, but I mean, it's a different floor. It's the same building.
Okay. I think I'm just pacing.
He sends Lotus to block your path. Just hover directly in front of your face.
Ah!
Gwen, stop.
if I stop, then we won't be able to figure out what's going on. You won't be able to know what's happening next, and then I will just have to think about the thing with my mother, and I just don't want to do that. So if I just keep walking, and I try to brush past you.
You're hyperventilating a little bit?
Yes, 100%.
Oh my god, it's like looking at my younger self. Oh right, anyway, I don't want to think about things. Let's just keep moving and inventing stuff. That'll help. He's like, no, I mean, you know how Viernan and I both have a bracer. There's a specific place that those are tied to.
Oh yeah, you get the thing. I didn't know about that.
Right.
But then, okay.
Remember last time, the emergency?
Yeah. So if we just... What do we do?
Why don't we check the teleportation portal? We can power walk there. I'll race you.
Okay. I don't know where I'm going, so...
You guys get there. There is an attendant. There's actually more attendants because it's earlier in the evening. And they say, yeah, somebody will send you a message when they get in, I guess. But no, they're not back yet.
Chaz makes sure to find the hottest male one and wink very flirtily at him. Thank you for that information.
It's my job, sir. You think he's straight.
And exactly, as soon as he replies like that, Chaz is like, oh, well, you're doing a great job, champ. And I hope you, yep. I don't know how to be straight, so yeah, keep up the good work. And then he puts a hand on Gwen's shoulder all right, so now we know that they're not back yet, but they'll send us a message when they know where they are.
Okay.
Do you still need to jog around the premises?
I look up and down at myself.
You can do some of those exercises Sarathiel's been teaching you.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
With the one-handed sword?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna try to distract myself. Sarathiel's been doing a really good job with these, and I strike one of the poses and it looks dumb, but that's okay. I'm gonna do that right here. I'm just gonna be here. And I just start going through that. I'm assuming it's sword forms.
You start exercising and Chaz is like, oh, all right. Chaz, who calms down by reciting pi to himself, okay, you're gonna be a jock. Goodbye then. Right, I'm sure you'll...
One of the guards tells you that he'll make sure that Gwen gets to a visitor room and it'll be okay.
Good.
I feel because it is Gwen, he's not really a jock. So he's doing this, but he's also trying to recite spell incantations in his head.
Nerd.
And Chaz is like, yep, you're doing great, sport. I have a place to go and I'll be back. Let me know if you need anything. You've got my sending stone.
Okay.
Do you have the message spell?
Nope. I took no useful spells.
Oh my god.
Remember, it was the one thing that I promised to do was to take no useful spells.
You do not have any useful spells. He's like, it's fine. There are other useful people around you. It's okay.
I could polymorph.
He's like, that's not useful right now, but all right. Good talk, sport.
Okay.
See you later.
Sport. What is this, Great Gatsby?
Yes, actually, that's exactly where I'm going with Chaz.
So I guess we're gonna follow Chaz for a bit.
Chaz is speed walking to Tanya with...
You know where Tanya's room is. Like I've established, it's nighttime, so presumably she could be asleep, but this is important.
Well, first he's like, oh, I know what kind of person she is, and he's going to check her office first and bust through the door hello?
And you are right, she is in fact working a little late.
Oh, my gods. Surprise! Who would have guessed that you would be pulling an all-nighter again?
You're back.
Here I am.
You guys have been gone a week.
What? Really?
You pause and you think about the fact, yeah, time travel does mess with the portals more than just the planar travel, so it's possible.
A week? Shit.
Glad to see you're back, but what time is it? And she gets a look at the clock. Are you okay?
Oh, Tanya.
Oh, one of those nights. Okay, and she rummages in her drawer for a bottle.
He's like, am I okay? You're funny. I like you.
She slides you a glass of something.
He definitely downs it.
Wanna, talk about it, bestie?
Where do I even begin? A lot has happened. A lot.
Well, where you been for a week? Maybe there?
He immediately starts rambling. He's like, well, all right, so first I was underground recently, and then I heard my brother's voice threaten to take my other leg, and then my team and I got thrown into timelines that should be locked.
Oh, okay. That's not good. Did you already tell somebody about that, or not yet, or?
Oh, I am. I'm telling you, right here, right now.
Fuck. All right. So she pulls out paperwork and doesn't pour herself another drink just yet. Not until the paperwork's done.
He immediately puts his hands over her like, no, you can't. I know you want to, but don't do the paperwork.
Who are you and what did you do with my friend?
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
Good, I guess.
There is some good news, and I am delighted to tell you that some version of me marries a really hot gardener. Imagine.
That's awesome.
I know.
What's his name? What's he like? Do we think he's here too?
Apparently, he said his name is Algadon,
Nice name.
and he is an Earth Genasi, and what? Did I say he was hot?
You did. You might have mentioned.
Oh, cool.
A hot gardener, you said.
Yeah, that's the good news. That's it.
Okay, she pours you a second drink. And the bad? Because, so far it's all pluses.
This time he does not down the drink. He just looks at it for a while. Well, the bad news is that a portal shredded his body, and I had to transfer his soul into a sword for 150 years. Also, we blew up AppTap.
I'm going to circle back to that one, but, what was that?
The part with the soul or the blowing up?
Blowing up AppTap.
Right. He introduced himself, and I was like, wow, what a hottie. And then he goes, oh yeah, you haven't worn anything like that since we blew up AppTap. I'm like, we? What do you mean, we?
Okay, let's take this somewhere not my office.
Yeah, great idea.
She gets you somewhere that is, definitively outside. Could not possibly be bugged, because, shit. Okay, alright. So, he wasn't a sword when you met him. He was Genasi.
Yeah, he said the spell finally wore off. I'm not sure which part is more shocking, the fact that I can fall in love, or the fact that I blew up my home.
Did he tell you anything about why?
He takes, a very deep breath. Are you sure you want to hear this?
Chaz, you came in here like you have the devils from the hells on your tail, and you're panicking. You're telling me you got married to a guy, or some version of you did, and what could have been that bad that you would do that?
Well, he told me that Silvery Moon was destroyed.
Oh, by, who?
That... I don't know that. And you know, Tanya, how much I hate not knowing things.
You have issues with unknowns? Nah.
He sort of does a 180 and is now completely serious. In fact, he looks scared. And you've only seen him look like this one time before, which is when you first found him. Why did you join AppTap, Tanya?
Where else was a half-orc supposed to get a job in Silvery Moon, Chaz?
Exactly. It's the same for me. There is no place for people like us out there. No matter where we go, strangers will look at us and judge us for things we cannot change. And then he takes her hands into his own. I'm here because you're here. You are my home. You understand me better than anyone else. I swore to protect this place that saw you for who you are.
And she just pulls you into a tight hug because she can see that you need it.
Oh yeah, he definitely lets... I'm assuming that, as a half-orc, she's probably, 2 heads taller than him.
Oh yeah.
He just lets himself get, folded into her, this is fine.
Giant half-orc lady, big hugs, lots of love.
When he gets out of the hug, he does something that concerns Tanya a little bit. He tries to braid his hair, but it's not there.
Chaz?
Right. I cut it. I forgot.
Okay, seriously, what's going on?
I'm terrified, Tanya. That's what's going on.
It takes her a minute, but I mean, like, you gave her a pretty big clue with the hair thing.
And he takes another breath. If our timelines can be unlocked, timelines that we should not be able to access, that means that I can be found. She can find me.
Honey, there's no way that they would let that happen. I mean...
She, takes a shaky breath. You don't know that. She's a goddess. I've spent my whole life running from Loth. If she finds me now... He's, visibly shaking. This is, the Chaz you first met. This is not the Chaz that everybody else knows. The one who just came to the surface.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Come on. Let's go get you a cup of tea, and we'll pour some more whiskey in it, and get you in a bed somewhere. Come on. It will be okay, and you know that I will watch you. I will be here for you.
Thank you. Well, you know that I can't trance alone. I don't like an empty bed.
Yeah. Come on. And she gets you back over to your quarters and gets you settled in, and she stays with you all night. She does sleep, but it's still comforting to have somebody else there with you.
I wonder if orc body temperatures are just high. He's just body warmth. And deep pressure,
Yes.
Like a giant weighted blanket.
Yes, she knows exactly what you need. You are laying on top of her. She is hugging you tightly.
That sensation of just having, her there, that definitely calms him down. Takes him down 5 notches.
Sarathiel. It is extremely early in the morning after you got in at probably the equivalent of midnight and were up until about 3 trying to calm the pain down and everything. You're in the middle of this unsettling dream when there is a loud knocking on your door.
Sarathiel sits up right in bed, and it's not like he can tell them. The door doesn't lock, so it's not like he can stop them from coming in. What? Who is it?
The door swings open, and there is a female elf standing outside. Viernan is kind of blearily blinking out of this trance because he doesn't usually take these potions. And the elf stands outside the door. She doesn't barge in or anything, but she says, "You've been gone a week, and I find you here, Viernan?"
Sarathiel puts the pieces together. Sarathiel's at the risk of sounding obvious, this actually is not what it looks like.
Sure, I'm going to believe that. Viernan, you couldn't even send me a message that you were home, that you were safe? Okay. Celeste, no, and he just scrambles out of the bed and over toward the door, and she is not letting him touch her at all.
Oopsies! Homewrecker, Sarathiel, good job.
You didn't come home. I didn't know where you were. Nobody knew where you were. I have been calling your office. Who is this?
Hi, I'm Sarathiel. Nice to meet you.
This is Sarathiel.
Oh, you know of me.
And she just kind of storms away down the hall. Celeste, get back, Celestine. This is not, And he runs and he catches up with her. Do not touch me, Viernan. I'm not having this right now. Leshka, we got stuck in a portal. It wasn't what you think. We had clothes on, for God's sake. You think I would do that to you? And she just kind of, gives him a look. Sarathiel, are you following or just letting this chaos go on?
No, Sarathiel definitely stands up. He's gonna keep his distance. He doesn't want to, be a nosy bitch, but also just in case she starts, throwing a spell at him or,
She is loud enough to, have doors opening along this hallway. You being nosy is the least of the issue right now.
He stands, by the door, but he keeps a safe distance. He just wants to intervene in case things get physically violent, is his priority.
She doesn't seem the type to go for physical violence. She seems more the type to just eviscerate you with words. And she seems to be doing a pretty damn good job of it. Viernan manages to at least get her to quiet down a little. He is still hyper aware that all of his colleagues are now staring at his domestic in the middle of the hall. Vernon manages to finally calm her down enough that they can just have a talk somewhere else and convinces Sarathiel that it will be okay, but also gives Sarathiel the sign to, like, no, don't engage, don't let her see you, like, just...
Sarathiel holds both hands up like, I'm following your lead, dude. Like, this is not my fiancé.
My lead is get out.
Sarathiel points inside with both fingers like, I'll just get dressed.
Yep, he gives you both thumbs up. So he looks just absolutely exhausted when you guys actually go down to breakfast. It's early for it, but you're already awake. Might as well. Gwen, how did you do last night?
Well, I think I went to the library and tried to find that book. I'm assuming they were probably, like, closed or something.
The library is usually open, but as an intern, you don't have round-the-clock access.
Yeah, that's fair. I feel like instead, I just, like, stayed up all night rereading stuff, so I didn't really sleep. I slept for maybe, like, an hour or two, and then was like, I should get up. But, like, mostly just, like, spent the entire time being like, well, if I can't read the book about my parents, then I'm just going to, like, study a shit ton. So, I walk in and I'm, like, bleary-eyed. I look like somebody punched me in both eyes. Just, like, totally dead.
2 for 2, both you and Vernon look like absolute shit.
I just thunk down and just bury my head in some coffee.
Vernon notices that you join him and is, oh, Gwen, you got back all right?
Oh, you're alive. Oh, I'm glad you're alive. Yeah, we're here.
Thank the gods.
That's about all I can say.
Don't take this the wrong way, but, oh, you look like shit, both of you.
Thanks, Mr. Tact.
Oh, really? I thought I was going to be winning some, like, modeling contracts today. Thanks.
I mean, you still could with the right outfit and the right look, but...
I just glare at him.
Chaz.
Yes.
It's too early for this shit, and I think we've all been through a little much.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I had a perfectly restful night.
I'm Chaz, and I slept really well. Fuck you.
I feel like at this point, Sarathiel rolls in. So you've only ever seen Sarathiel in one of 2 outfits. His casual wear, which is like a white shirt and like simple linen pants with a black belt, which is just what AppTap gives him, or the chainmail, which AppTap also gives him. Today he is wearing a fitted black shirt and black pants. And he looks fine. Like, he doesn't look like a slapped ass, like apparently half of our party. He looks like he's had a good night's rest. But he comes meandering over to the table.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really notice. I'm just, like, sitting there staring.
Chaz definitely takes note with a capital N, like, oh, different outfit, okay. We're in this arc now, I got it.
We're in his emo phase.
He just sort of like, well, it was good while it lasted.
Sarathiel eyes you and says, you're on thin ice. And he sits down.
I look back and forth at both of them. This is gonna be a long day, isn't it?
Morning, Gwen. You look like shit.
Thank you. I've been informed that I should not be trying to model today.
Alright, that was not where I was going to go with the rest of that sentence, but sure.
It was a bad night.
No, yeah, it was terrible. It was a nightmare, from which I have only just awoken.
So, is anybody going to comment on the fact that he's using entire sentences, or no?
I've not really noticed.
Yes, I already said you're on thin ice. Watch yourself.
Oh my gods! Who are you?
Do I need to make myself any clearer, Chesmia? I'm really not in the mood to deal with you right now.
Oh, well, alright.
Vernon has not had enough coffee for this. First the fiancé, now this bullshit. We don't need to draw more attention.
Yeah, so V, I heard some things.
Leave him alone.
Alright.
I'm just kind of frantically looking back and forth between the two of you, like, what the fuck is going on?
Why is there drama in life?
Chaz just, like, puts both hands up and, like, goes to get food.
I think Vernon just, keeps sipping his coffee.
I, look kind of at Vernon and Chaz and Sarathiel back and forth in a row, and I'm just like, did something happen that I didn't know about?
Yes, and we're not going to talk about it in the middle of the crowded cafeteria.
Not that it's any of your business anyway.
Oof. I sort of, look at everybody.
We do need to talk as a team, Sarathiel.
I look up and I'm like, I mean, I guess it might not be none of my business, but if y'all are sniping at the fucking table in front of me, I feel like the least you could do is, like, I don't know, do it in private?
He sighs, he says, no, you're right, I apologize. I'm not angry at you. I am a little angry at Chasmere, but that's for unrelated reasons.
No, okay.
Chaz chooses this moment to come back and sit down with food.
I, like, look at everybody else and I'm just like, that looks, what is that? That French toast? I'm gonna go, and I get up and go get some food. I'm gonna come back with a giant pot of coffee, like, almost bigger than me.
Sarathiel's like, you gonna share with the class there, Gwynedd?
I will not, thank you for asking. And I just start, like, drinking it, defiantly staring at you.
Chaz is like, damn.
V just slides over the spare cup of coffee that he got.
Thank you.
No, that's for me. You've got enough. Good lord. Just gonna vibrate straight to the moon.
I mean, honestly, kind of feels like that right now, Sarathiel, so I don't really feel like it's any different.
I reserve the right to cut you off.
I don't think it was a long night, okay?
Still, he does have a point. That much caffeine is really not good for your heart.
Chaz is like, that, true.
I just sort of glare. Okay, everyone.
You were really wired last night.
Maybe this will help.
Okay, let's focus on the good things. We all made it back.
Didn't we just?
Yes, we did.
Traumatized. Forever.
Cheers to that.
I said the good. Again, let's not talk about details here, little public.
I agree.
How the fuck did that happen?
I don't know, and I don't like not knowing, Gwen. It's not supposed to be possible.
Is there any research that we could do?
That's a good point.
Oh, there's always research we can do. That I specifically intend to do immediately after this meal.
Have we told somebody? Don't we need to tell somebody? I look around. Like, does the administrator know?
All right.
No.
Gwynedd, keep your voice down, all right?